Sometimes when you believe something for so long, you take it for granted. For instance, our belief that Jesus is God. We think it's obvious or that we can prove it. The truth is, you cannot prove that. It's a matter of faith. It's a grace that we receive that we choose to accept and we choose to say yes to. And we don't realize this until we have other people that do not have that grace or have not made that choice. And they come to us and they say, prove to me that Jesus is God. And we, in our arrogance, think that we can control their faith. And we think, well, he performed miracles, he walked on water, he raised people from the dead, he even resurrected from the dead. Isn't that proof? And the person can say, no, that's just someone that happens to have that grace or that miracle or that power or whatever you want to call it. And they say, well, I see all that. That doesn't mean that he's God. And we wonder, and how can we change their minds? The reality is we can't. So on the one hand, we need to accept the humility of knowing that this is a grace of faith, that we cannot move people to believe or to see or to make that jump, that because you do X, Y, or Z, that means this conclusion over here. And we have to have this gratitude of knowing that we have received the grace to make the jump. In the same way, you cannot prove that purgatory exists. It's an invisible place that we cannot see, and we will not see until we are there. So we cannot have this scripture or that scripture or the other scripture and say, therefore, that. There's always a jump, sometimes a smaller one, sometimes a larger one. And so we need to pray for others, for non-Catholic Christians, for non-Christians, to receive this grace, to believe in this place, that they can pray for these people as well. Whenever I encounter so many people that say, prove to me that purgatory exists from such and such a scripture, I realize that those people don't understand the concept of faith. Faith is something that cannot be proven. There's always a gap by which we receive a grace to make a jump. Now, it might be an educated jump. We might think, okay, these details are pointing in a certain direction, but we can never ever say that faith can be proven in the same way that we can prove something scientifically or we can prove something visibly that we can see. Faith is in things unseen. But there's a scripture that if you have the faith to see, you will see it, that shows us what the souls in purgatory feel like. What's their inner attitude? What's the state in which they're in? About two days ago, there was a scripture, and I'll read it as follows, and my wife asked me, what does that mean? What's going on there? So let's dive into it. After Jesus had finished speaking, he said to Simon, put out into deep water and lower your nets for a catch. Simon said in reply, Master, we have worked hard all night and have caught nothing, but at your command I will lower the nets. When they had done this, they caught a great number of fish, and their nets were tearing. They signaled to their partners in the other boat to come to help them. They came and filled both boats, so the boats were in danger of sinking. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at the knees of Jesus and said, Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man. That one statement, if you have the eyes of faith to see it, is purgatory. That's what they feel, that's what they say. We hear from different mystics, Simma being one of them, that purgatory is a choice on the part of the soul, that they are in the holiness of God at the time of judgment. They see God, they see this immense perfection and realize they need to cleanse themselves. They say, as St. Peter says, Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man. They see their own imperfections and see purgatory as a mercy to cleanse themselves of the rust of sin, a theme that we also see in St. Catherine of Genoa. That's why Peter said that, because the holiness of Jesus was manifested so immensely through that miracle of the catch of fish that all his sinfulness became apparent, and he did not want to be in the presence of Jesus. Have you ever gone to a place where you were dressed awfully? In fact, I invite you to do that. I invite you to have a purgatory experience. Wake up with whatever you're wearing, as long as you're wearing clothes, however you look, and I want you to go to a fancy restaurant, and you will feel so inadequate, you will feel so underdressed to that situation that you will want to leave. Do it! I challenge you, lovers of purgatory, to go and do it, or go to the grocery store, feeling that immense gap between you and the people that are there. So my friends, I hope this small scripture gives you a tiny insight into what purgatory is like. Keep supporting this channel. I invite all of you to support this channel through Buy Me a Coffee, which is a one-time way of supporting, or by becoming a monthly Patreon supporters. You will have access to the weekly meditations on the Sunday Gospel if you are a Patreon member. My friends, keep praying for this channel. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.